Except the United States, all countries are helping UNRWA, which is a good sign. And severe punishment should be given to these countries. We should even threaten these countries, right, if they break international law. This was probably, I think, the most important question that I wanted to ask, that are Israeli settlers moving into the Gaza region? My salute to UNRWA employees. You are the heroes. The UNRWA employees are the heroes, despite all Israeli tactics to ban UNRWA and scare them away. They didn't. They kept doing their job. You are the heroes of our time. I will keep supporting UNRWA. I will keep donating UNRWA, and I will encourage others to keep donating UNRWA. We are all behind you. So I am a regular donor to UNRWA, and UNRWA is, I think, the best United Nations agency who is doing the best work in Palestine, in Gaza, in terms of supplying aid and also now rebuilding and reconstruction of Gaza. So I had a chance to talk to their head digital marketing, Suzanne Ayoub. I wanted to have it live, but she said she couldn't because of her high priority tasks. So I asked her the most important questions regarding UNRWA. And my first question was, I heard that there are 1 or 2 countries talking about defunding UNRWA. My direction was towards United States of America and Israel. Has this happened? If yes, how is it impacting UNRWA? And she replied that on funding, all partners who had suspended funding have now resumed their support to UNRWA. So that's a good sign. Except the United States. So except the United States, all countries are helping UNRWA, which is a good sign. The decision by the US Congress to ban funding to UNRWA until March 2025 has created a large gap in the agency's annual operating budget, making it harder for UNRWA to respond to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and threatening our ability to maintain operations across all areas of operation. In parallel, income from private sources, individuals, foundations, and high-value donors have reached an unprecedented $156 million total contribution since the war began. So, UNRWA is receiving good funding, and we will continue to fund UNRWA. All the countries of the world and even the public people like us. Okay, so my second question was, I heard that Israel has banned UNRWA, which to me means nothing. As Israel has no authority to ban UNRWA, what is UNRWA's stance on this? So she replied, on the ban, the vote by the Israeli Parliament Knesset against UNRWA on 28 October 2024 evening is unprecedented and sets a dangerous precedent. Should the bills be implemented, this would have an enormous human impact and potential consequences for stability in the wider region. UNRWA has a key role to play in any future transition period that will lead to a lasting solution for Palestine refugees. It opposes the UN Charter and violates the state of Israel's obligations under international law. This is the latest in the ongoing campaign to discredit UNRWA and delegitimize its role towards providing human development assistance and services to Palestine refugees. These bills will only deepen the suffering of Palestinians, especially in Gaza, where people have been going through more than a year of sheer hell and where without UNRWA, the humanitarian operation will collapse. So Israel, by banning UNRWA, is going against international law. And it is the duty of the Arab nations and the Muslim world to punish Israel on this, right? You cannot go against official forums. Going against official forums is like going against international law, and severe punishment should be given to these countries. We should even threaten these countries, right, if they break international law. Without international law, there is no justice in the world. Okay, so my third question was very important. Has the bombardment decreased now in Gaza, or is it still going on at the same pace as before, also in relation to civilian casualties? On this, she gave a generic response. On the bombardment in Gaza, strikes by the Israeli forces continue with aerial, land, and maritime bombardments across the Gaza Strip. resulting in civilian casualties and the destruction of residential buildings and public infrastructure. You can find the latest update from OCHA data sources, right? So last time I checked, about 3/4 of the buildings have been destroyed in Gaza. So a lot of destruction of infrastructure, a lot of killings, right? Okay, so my fourth question was, are Israeli settlers moving into the Gaza region? This was probably, I think, the most important question that I wanted to ask, that are Israeli settlers moving into the Gaza region? Because there is a connotation attached to this question. And she said, I don't have any information to answer to this question, so apologies. This is I think, the heart of the matter, right? Because I don't think Israeli settlers can move into Gaza. There are many people who say that, Israel can annex Gaza and, Israeli settlers will move into Gaza. I don't think so, because Hamas is still there. And if Hamas is under the tunnels, so obviously if Israeli settlers move in, they will be under the threat. The threat will be still there, right? So I don't think Israeli settlers can move into Gaza. So this is why I asked this question. She was silent on that question. Okay, the fifth question is, how many UNRWA schools were there in Gaza and how many have been destroyed? So she replied, there were 183 UNRWA schools across the Gaza Strip. During the war, over 85% of them have been hit. 85% of the schools have been hit. Some were bombed out. Many were severely damaged. Most of these schools were used as shelters when hit. Where is the freedom of education? Where is the academic freedom? Where is the it's unprecedented that the basic human rights have been violated so much, right? These UNRWA schools have been destroyed, right? Schools have been destroyed. All types of crimes go against these people, right? My last question was, what are the feelings of UNRWA employees? Are UNRWA employees feeling safe and comfortable? Please get my message across that we, the international community, are all behind them. And she replied, no one feels safe or comfortable in Gaza, including UNRWA staff, thousands of whom, despite the lack of security and dire conditions, continue to work around the clock to deliver aid, treat patients in our health centers, provide psychosocial support, and perform other essential services for their community. So my salute to UNRWA employees. My salute to UNRWA employees. You are the heroes. The UNRWA employees are the heroes, despite all Israeli tactics to ban UNRWA and scare them away. They didn't. They kept doing their job. You are the heroes of our time. I will keep supporting UNRWA. I will keep donating UNRWA, and I will encourage others to keep donating UNRWA. We are all behind you. This international organization is the best organization who are doing the best work for Gaza and the Palestinians and for international law. And with that, Assalamu alaikum.